Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Kevin Griffiths, and I'm calling this Griffiths Garage. We're in the middle of building a transmission. A couple of weeks ago, I was just gonna do some slight changes to the transmission. I opened it up and uncovered a can of worms. I went down a rabbit hole and got educated on Chrysler race transmissions, and holy cow, I kind of feel enlightened. I went from being very unaware about what it takes to have a 1,000 horsepower transmission to feeling like I kind of know what's going on now. And that's all because I watched all John Cope's transmission videos. We're going to finish up the front pump, get that all wrapped up. We're also going to set up the clutches for the forward clutch and the intermediate clutch. We're going to replace that fragile input shaft with a super high strength billet unit. That's a hell of an upgrade. In the process of doing that, we're also going to upgrade the Belleview spring, set that clearance, and I kind of feel like I'm on a roll. And in order to keep these videos a little bit shorter, I just need to cut them off, upload that, move on to the next thing. So I went ahead and sanded it down, threw some red tractor paint on it. Turned out pretty good. Right here's where you got to stake that bushing. The bushing's put together like a puzzle, and you got to make sure that that puzzle area does not fall in the spot where you're going to stake it at. So you just need to rotate it out of the way. Just a rounded off chisel, just so it's not sharp. So here's the pump that I rebuilt. here's an original unrebuilt pump. These are both 1966 to 1970 pumps. So they come with the small so normally they come with the small stator support and the narrow bushing, but they're still good pump covers, and you can put the later style big stator in these. It's a bolt-in deal, so that's all I did when I built this one, is I just upgraded the stator. And then right here, normally these have a metal cover right here. Under the cover you can see the vent to atmosphere, and then on the other side they got another little plate right there that's hiding the hole. It's just a little splash shield. But when you drill this hole, the 16th inch hole in that billet front drum, it will spray right in that area. So you want to make sure you plug that vent off and move it to the back of the case. So how I did it on here is I just drilled and tapped an 1/8 inch pipe, oops, on the back side right there. Hopefully that's coming in. Yeah, 1/8 inch pipe right there. It didn't completely close off the passage though, it still leaked a little bit. I probably should have done a 1/4 inch, I don't know, I've never done it before. But all I did to remedy it is on this side I just came in here and just put a little bit of epoxy in there, let it set up, and then I sanded it down before I repainted it. And so yeah, that's how I plugged off the front pump. It's a good idea to fit the stator onto the converter and the pump and all the pump parts. It's a big deal the way these things are labeled front. That has to go to the front of the car. These pump gears fit so much better than the originals. I'm just fitting up everything dry just to make sure that that bushing fits the converter well. Put the stator in there to center everything up. Now you got the whole assembly together. So this is my 8-inch Cohen converter. I had this thing custom built back in the early 2000s when the NMCA was filled with tons and tons of people running Cohen converters. This one is a billet stator nitrous converter. It stalls at about 5,500 RPM. Hopefully the new motor doesn't kill it. Got to remember to put those in the right way. It's a huge deal. If you don't, it's going to be disaster. $15 foot-pounds. That's it. All right, here you got to take the empty drum, forward drum, and you got to put it over the intermediate drum. And right now I'm noticing that they're hitting. The front drum and the intermediate drum are contacting each other. So I'm looking at these fiber washer thicknesses, trying to figure out if it needs a thicker washer or something. I'm like, dang it. What the hell am I going to do? And then right here. Belleview spring. All right, so here's the thing. That clearance is the Belleview spring clearance that John's always talking about. Let me see if I can move the light a little bit here. So that's the Belleview spring right there. This is the aftermarket heavy-duty Belleview spring. It looks much thicker than what's in there. And it comes with a steel and two separate snap rings. No, a steel spacer and a snap ring. And right here, there it is. Remove the original Belleview spring and plastic spacer. Install the new Belleview spring, and so I guess we should do that next. And then we'll put it back together. We'll put this back together, and we'll put the empty drum on it, and make sure that we have clearance at that point. That's a gorgeous piece. This piston was beat to heck. Super rough on the backside. Seal was hard. I just cleaned it up with a file and then sanded it down with a little bit of sandpaper. It fits nice now. You want to make sure those lip seals are always pointed towards the pressure. Just use a feeler gauge to walk that seal in. Oh,
I know, that was a good deal, huh?
dude,
perfect timing, too.
What a score. Exactly when I needed them.
I was like, I know somebody needs that.
Wow, look at this. The Summit score of the week. Adjustable pivoting strut rods. That's badass.
Yeah, when they say 62 to 74, that's almost always E and B.
Thanks, Dave-O. It's kind of nice when your buddies are over at Summit and they see a deal and they snag it for you. So this is the factory Belleview spring. It's pretty worn and pretty light duty. This is the replacement heavy duty Bellevue spring. It's a taller spring, it's not as flat, and it's made out of, let me see if you can, it's made out of thicker material. I guess you can kind of see the difference if this focuses. That piston end with the two lip seals on it. See what the clearance is to the Bellevue spring. Let's try 15 thousandths. So it's 15 thousandths. Wow, so much nicer. Ooh, look at this. That shim, I don't know if I can even get this in there. So I was watching John's video and he was saying how you want the Bellevue spring to be as tight as possible in there. There's no need to have a bunch of clearance between the piston and that spring. Because here's the thing, I think what he was saying is when you're on the transmission brake, this piston is energized, and if you got a bunch of slop between your Belleview spring and your piston, or you have a weak ass Belleview spring like that, there's a condition where this piston can come out of that drum, and you could lose that lip seal. It'd blow that lip seal out. What it looks like was going on in my transmission is this thing was cocking in the bore or something, because the piston was hammered around the outside, and I had to clean it up. So the aluminum was kind of beat up. So I'm going to go ahead, pull this out one more time. I'm going to pull the spacer out. Let me go get some calipers. So I got a couple of choices to tighten it up. So this is 73 thousandths. That's what I had in there just now. This one looks thicker. This one's about 98 thousandths. So let's just see. See if I can get the spring in. I might have to use a combination, like maybe I got to use the thinner spring to get in there. Or let's just see. Okay. Now, that's what we want. I'm pretty sure. By using a combination of different thickness parts, you can come up with just that right clearance. Like, that is perfect. That thing's not moving around at all. Nice. Perfect. So by replacing that Bellevue spring, it solved all that. Let's go ahead and set up this clutch pack now. So this is called the apply plate. So the rounded edge goes in. Ta-da. Okay, so I'm going to take my Bellevue spring, put it in that giant box of parts that I can't use, the old stuff. Transmission fluid. Here, look at this. So we're going to put clutch. We're going to put steel. We're going to put another clutch. Oops. You're not paying attention. You're supposed to be looking over here. Another clutch. Steel. Clutch. Another steel. Last clutch. And then after the last clutch, we put this other apply plate. Man, this thing's beautiful. So put this in. do we got here? Edge towards the Belleview spring, followed by the clutch pack and backing plate. Use a 60,000 snap ring included, and check the clutch clearance. Should be 20 to 36 thousandths. What's our clearance? What's our intermediate clutch clearance? Is it 32 thousandths? Nope. Can't get 32 in there. Can get 30. Where's it at? 30 thousandths right here. Yup. No problem. 30 thousandths. Yep. 30 thousandths. It's good. Okay, so we're done with that clutch set. Next thing I need to do, let's go ahead and drill this. You only need to drill these things out with that additional hole if you're running a transmission brake. And you only want to drill these out, drill this drum out, if you've relocated the vent tube. Removed it from the front pump, plugged off the front pump, and drilled and tapped the back of the case like we did. Because once you drill this, the back side of it, as it's spinning, oil's going to come out of that hole that you just put in it, and it's going to just mist a bunch of oil up around the vent if it's in the front of the pump. So that's why you need to move the vent to the back of the case. So let's go ahead and drill this thing. "16th-inch drill bits." Like, it's kind of weird. The 16th is such a, I don't know, use it, it seems like we use it all the time. Every time you turn around, somebody wants you to drill a 16th-inch hole in something. And years ago, and I don't know how old this bag is right here. It's folded up in the bottom of my toolbox, like this. It says 16th on it. Years ago, you know, you're always breaking your 16th-inch drill bit, right? Like every drill index you have, that bit's broken. So years ago, I stocked up. These are probably 30 years old. Looks like I only have 5 left. Hi, Ashley. They're not my fans. They're my friends.
The viewers?
Yeah.
Are you talking to your OnlyFans?
My OnlyFans. No, it's not those guys.
Oh, okay.
It's I was just telling them about this package of 16th-inch drill bits that I bought a million years ago, because you always break 16th-inch drill bits. So I have spares, and there's 5 left, and they're probably 30 years old.
How many have you broken?
I don't know. I don't know how many I originally
Today.
bought. None.
Perfect.
But I needed one
Yeah.
to do this modification. There it is. 75 thousandths is the clearance on the front clutch set. We got 5 clutches loaded in it, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steels. We're going to use all 15 springs. I like these billet retainers that John makes. These are really cool. All right, let's go put this together.
My homemade drum compressor. It works okay, but obviously it's my valve spring compressor, and it's a little light duty for this. Hey Ash, where are we at?
Hobart Lake Road.
Whose idea was this?
Mine.
You're the you're the best activity partner.
Activity partner. We'll have to define that later.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Next week, we're putting it all together. All the gear train, all the clearances, the valve body, all the good stuff. It'll be done. You may not have to wait a whole week for that video. I think I'm on a roll.